everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's discuss about transfer of copyrights in this class. So transfer of copyrights in the sense you are going to give your copyright to someone else. Okay, you can transfer, literally you can transfer your copyright to someone else. Yes, sir, come sir. Yeah, come sir, come. So literally you can transfer your work to someone else. So now that can be a company, that can be a publisher, or that can be a particular individual. Now the original author of the copyrighted work may not have a resources to produce it, to distribute it, like what we discussed about the patent, how we can give once we get a grant for a patent, we can actually sell it to someone. Similarly here, the resources are not there to publish it, to distribute it. So usually what you do, you are an author, you will give the copyright to the publisher itself. Okay, so that the publisher can make use of that right, and he can print as many as copies and he can use the royalties. Usually there are different conditions will be there. Before signing for the agreement only, you should read and understand carefully, because in some cases it will be mentioned as there is no restriction of copies, hard copies. They can print how much ever they want and how many years they want. Okay, but as an author you can you can request them, no, you cannot do that, you can do it for only next for 5 years, or you can go for the only so many copies. That kind of restrictions you can put. So usually they transfer their rights to the publishers for financial benefits, which could be a one-time lump sum amount or royalties, or a combination of the two. Either you will get the royalties, 20% royalties on every book sold, that is 1%, or lump sum amount at a starting. In the movies, copyrights have taken by the some people to dub it in other languages. That is lump sum amount for 2 crores, for 5 crores and all. You might have heard that thing comes as lump sum amount. At one time you are taking the money. Another thing is royalties, percentage you are taking, or in some cases both combination you will take. You will take lump sum amount of 1 crore and 10% of royalties. Okay, so the start rank and all, you will be listening all these things and all. So however, the transferring copyrights unconditionally to a publisher or anybody else may have some consequences of the owner of the copyright. If at all you are not putting any conditions, then you might end up in a trouble. For example, a publisher may prevent yourself, you are an author, publisher publisher, if he has got a rights, if there is no conditions, then publisher can prevent you to display your articles in the institutes and websites also. That will be a horrible thing, but most of the cases it does happen. So a new owner of the copyright may not even allow the author to revise his work. Imagine you wrote some book, now you want to revise it. You cannot revise it because you have already transferred all the copyrights to him unconditionally. So that's why before writing you need to be very careful while signing the agreement with the publisher. So in other instances, what happens, the publisher might print an insufficient number of the hard copies, okay, and also does not show any interest in uploading the soft copy of the work. So there is a demand for your book, but he is not printing as much as the demand, okay, and also he is not giving you the freedom to publish, and he is not even uploading the soft copy in the internet. So in that cases, what happens, you will be you cannot earn as much as you should be earning, as there is a demand in the market. So hence one must be very careful while signing the agreement. Okay, we need to read and then only you have to sign. So the author may not transfer all the legal rights bestowed upon him or as an author. He doesn't have to sell all the rights or sign for all the rights. So he can put the conditions. An agreement can be made by permitting only the print and sales of the hard copies by the publisher while retaining the digital rights of the said work. That means when you have a digital rights, you can upload in the internet, you can upload in your college website or your any websites, and you can also earn from it. Okay, so if there is no conditions, then digital rights also will lose. You cannot upload your work also in internet. So an author may also put a timeline. Okay, you can put a time limit for a particular printing and sales of the books or articles, all those things. You can put a limit. You can say that 5 years only. This you can print my books only for 5 years, or only 1000 copies, only 100 copies, only 1 lakh copies you have to you can print. that also you can put a limitation. So before the digital era, authors used to rely completely on the publisher for the dissemination of the work. Nowadays, the internet available, because of the internet era, that dependency is almost vanished now. So that now the author is in a position so that he can literally bypass the publisher, and he can literally bring his work to the public domain as the internet is there. So but this freedom cannot be enjoyed by those who are already under the publishing contract. Since because of the already publishing contract you have signed, you cannot completely bring all, you cannot bypass the publisher because you have already signed for the publishing contract. Okay. So even though the author has completely and exclusively licensed out his work, Copyright Act has a provision under termination of the transfer to reclaim his copyright. So even imagine you have already transferred the copyright, but as an author, as the primary author, you can terminate that transfer. Okay, you will have the rights, but under this provision you will have to wait for the 35 years of the copyright transfer. Certain copyright agreements can be terminated only after 35 years of the agreement. That is the biggest issue here. Next topic is copyrights and the word adoption, that we will discuss in the next class.